They say discipline is just another word for control, but they never met Miss Neves, my teacher in St. Anthony's Anglo-Indian High School. See it and be
In the late
transformed.
1960s, the Puttapet neighborhood of Chennai was a landscape of rapid growth and historical architecture. Outside the school gates, the city was a sensory bombardment, a dense flow of auto rickshaws, pedestrians, and the heavy, humid heat of South India. Inside St. Anthony's Anglo-Indian High School, the world felt much smaller and far more rigid. I was a quiet student here, often struggling to keep up with the natural standouts in my class. In this environment, academic performance was the only metric that mattered, and for a below-average student, the fear of falling behind was constant. This sense of vulnerability required a counterforce, a person who demanded absolute order to ensure that even the quietest student didn't get lost in the noise. Miss Knieves was that force. She was an unyielding disciplinarian who accepted nothing less than excellence from everyone under her watch. She enforced a code of perfect presentation. Uniforms had to be flawless, shoes had to be polished to a mirror shine, and homework was a hard deadline that didn't allow for excuses. While other kids played during breaks, those of us who were struggling stayed inside. Under her watchful eye, we worked through our deficiencies until the material was mastered. This discipline extended beyond the classroom. She refused to let anyone sit on the bench during sports, forcing every student out of their comfort zone and into the game. Her relentless standards came from a place of deep investment. She cared for every child in those halls, and she used discipline as a mechanism to build a baseline for our survival. Decades later, I moved from that courtyard in Chennai into the high-stakes world of cybersecurity. The threats here are digital, but the pressure is just as overwhelming. In a modern security command center, the complexity of defending data can feel like a chaotic race you're destined to lose. To manage this, the industry uses the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, or CMMC. It is a massive framework of rules designed to defend against a world of constant attack. The CMMC framework often feels cold and sterile, reflecting the same pressure I felt as a child, trying to keep up with a system that demanded total compliance. Looking at these technical requirements today, I see the classroom again. The controls of CMMC look less like modern software and more like Miss Neves's original playbook. Take configuration management. It begins with an inventory, knowing every single asset on the network. You cannot protect what you don't know exists. Miss Neves maintained a strict inventory of every child, ensuring each met a validated baseline before the day began. She was physically enforcing the core philosophy of a digital security framework decades before the technology even existed. Consider her role as the principal's primary advisor and problem solver. In a crisis, she was the bridge between people on the ground and the executive leadership. This is the organizational structure required for modern incident response and executive sponsorship. The value system she anchored us in, the rules that defined our behavior, functions exactly like a system security plan. It is the constitution that dictates how an organization operates under pressure. Even the act of keeping struggling kids inside during breaks mirrors the mandate for awareness and training. We don't leave the weakest link behind. We lift their capability until they meet the standard. Mandatory sports participation serves as the classroom version of risk management. It forced us to test our actual physical vulnerabilities, rather than assuming we were safe because we stayed inside. A mature system recognizes that organizational security is only as strong as its most vulnerable participant. The technical code of cybersecurity ultimately relies on human traits of accountability and daily habits. True security is built on the standards we set for one another and the compassion required to ensure no one is left to struggle alone. Miss Neves proved that uncompromising discipline is security.